Suzuki S-Cross. The SX4 S-Cross is Suzuki's attempt to capitalize on the increasingly popular small SUV class. It sits at the lower end of the sector in terms of price, but it manages to offer a slightly higher ride height than some rivals, a huge boot and lots of standard equipment. For a small SUV, it's also good to drive. Lined up alongside its rivals, the S-Cross looks very cheap to buy, and considering how much standard equipment you get, it's actually great value for money. However, the S-Cross needs to stand out because it has tough competition in the forms of the Vauxhall Mokka, Skoda Yeti and Nissan Qashqai. There are 3 engines to choose from. A turbocharged 1.0-litre, a larger turbocharged 1.4-litre, seen previously in the Baleno and Vitara S, and a 1.6-litre turbodiesel. Both petrol engines are available with either a manual or an automatic gearbox, whereas the diesel is only available with the latter. All engines get the option of all-wheel drive. Meanwhile, there are 3 trim levels: SZ4, SZT and the range-topping SZ5. Read on over the next few pages for everything you need to know about the Suzuki SX4 S-Cross before buying one, including which trim level and engine to choose. Suzuki SX4 S-Cross Performance. The 1.4 petrol is a strong performer, but the diesel is the better bet. The S-Cross's 1.0 petrol engine is actually the same as the one found in the firm's latest hatchback, the Baleno. It's powerful enough for the S-Cross to feel comfortable in and out of town. But if you want to sprint down a slip road to get up to speed, or overtake in fast-moving traffic, it has to be worked hard. The 1.4 on the other hand is quicker and stronger, so it's perfect if you often venture onto the motorway. It's also smoother at low revs, introducing less vibration into the cabin. Around town its hushed tones make it a far more relaxing drive than the gruff-sounding 1.6-litre diesel. The diesel isn't quite as quick in an outright sprint, but it does have slightly better low-down shove, endowing it with impressive flexibility. This makes it easier to drive in the real world because it will accelerate cleanly without you constantly needing to change to a lower gear. Suzuki SX4 S-Cross Ride Comfort. Unfortunately, while the S-Cross's body might be well controlled, its suspension doesn't do such a good job of keeping things settled over poor road surfaces. The suspension reacts harshly and noisily to broken tarmac and potholes, and the car's body becomes noticeably unsettled, too. As the speed builds, the initial bump absorption gets better, but expansion joints on the motorway still clunk inside. The heavier four-wheel drive models are slightly smoother and quieter at lower speeds. As RS said, for cars with the smallest 16 inches alloy wheels, all other versions ride on 17 inches wheels, but every S-Cross suffers the same fundamental problems with its ride. A Skoda Yeti and Nissan Qashqai are more comfortable over UK roads. Suzuki SX4S cross handling. No small SUV is the last word in handling prowess, but the S-Cross does a pretty tidy job through tight bends, and isn't too far behind the Skoda Yeti. Like most front-wheel drive cars, start to push hard and eventually the front wheels will wash wide. It manages to keep its body nicely controlled, and the front wheels are reasonably grippy. For the most part, though, it's precise, consistently weighted and, at lower town speeds, light enough to make parking easy. However, when that happens, it's progressive rather than snappy. All-wheel drive models have slightly more grip. The steering is probably the weakest link, because it doesn't quite let you know how the front wheels are faring under pressure.